Hey guys, Chris here with Simply Japanese Maples, and I am surrounded here with a small army of Acer palmatum Ryusen trees, and we're going to do a spotlight on those today. So Acer palmatum Ryusen is a very special cultivar. There's a handful of trees kind of on the same type, if you will, or sort of growth habit that have extreme cascading branches, and they have this palmate style leaf versus what we usually come to expect with our weepers, the lace leaf. So there's a handful. There's Jiro Shidare, there's Ryusen, there's Yellow Cascade. Of course, there's more and more coming all the time, but at this point, they are a very, very small minority of trees in the overall Japanese maple world. So let's dive into it. So behind me here, I've got our biggest one here. So this Ryusen here, you can see basically what it does, right? It has this extreme cascading habit. So you've got your main trunk here, and these branches just come off and they just almost go straight down. They have great chartreusey colored leaves in the spring. Gets a little darker in the summertime, or as we approach summer. New leaves are always that light yellowy green chartreuse color again, and then in the fall time you get more of a yellow color. So awesome tree. This is a tree that we can basically, you can stake it up sort of where you want it. So essentially I would just sort of have a stake in here. I would continue to stake up a branch, take that up, and that'll carry on as your main leader, the trunk, and cascade it down from there. Or you can just kind of leave it to its own devices, kind of growing up, cascading out as it wants. And so it's kind of useful in that sense. You can have it as a retaining wall type of tree where it's flowing over top. You could have it in if I had this in a nice big container, that would look pretty nice on a patio. It's great for smaller, narrower spaces because the habit is going to be sort of in tight. It's not going to be spreading out, right? That's just not what this tree does. It's up at the new sprouts, and down they go. And so here you go. What you see is what you get. And these are very vigorous as well, I find. I mean, these are all new shoots this year, and they're something like 18 inches long, basically 12 to 18 inches long, a lot of these. So very vigorous. This hardy young tree has been in and out of pots. I mean, in the ground, back into a pot, into the ground, back into a pot. And so it's doing super well. I probably had the growth slow down a little bit as a result. But this year it is back in this pot and settled in here, and it's gotten super vigorous. However, all these smaller trees around it, these are all in 2-gallon pots. They've been in pots since their entire lives, and they also have 12 to 16 or 12 to 18 inches of growth. So all of these were pretty much just sticks to start the spring, and now you can see cascading really nice, and we're not even all the way through the growing season. So doing really well, guys. We have a lot of these Ryusen in 2 gallons, so if you're interested in those, give us a shout or look them up on the website, simplyjapanesemaples.ca. But Ryusen's a great tree, guys. It's, as I said, fantastic growing habit, multifaceted sort of plant to be able to use in different ways. You're not going to use it as a shade tree unless you are an ant, small bug. Then it'll be a great shade tree for you. But otherwise, yeah, awesome tree for small, narrow spaces, cascading over stuff. Kind of similar uses as you would use a dissectum, but maybe even a little different. Left to its own devices, it might be 8 or 10 feet eventually, but it takes a long time to get to there. And yeah, you can just let it do its own thing, or you can stake it up where you want it and let it cascade down. Great tree, guys. Acer palmatum Ryusen. Any questions about that, of course, ask in the comment section, or of course contact us directly. And thanks for watching. Until next time.